And nearly 36 new laws are now in the books in California. Most will take effect starting next year. Governor Gavin Newsom signed 6 bills into law on Friday, finishing up ahead of a Sunday night's deadline to either sign or veto the measures passed by the state this year. Now, some of the last legislation he signed involved requiring California students to take ethnic studies in order to graduate from high school, starting with the class of 2030. Also, public schools and colleges must now stock their campuses with menstrual products. The governor also signed off on limiting prison terms for those associated with street gangs. And in light of this pandemic, he approved the sales of cocktails to go until 2026. Another pair of laws extends outdoor dining permits and alcohol sales for a year after the state of emergency ends. So joining me right now to weigh in on some of the impact of these new laws and what new ones could be ahead is Stefano De Fre. He's the co-director of the youth activism documentary, The Day I Had to Grow Up. Stefano, thank you so much for stopping by here on the Midday Jolt.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So we just ticked off a list of bills which Governor Newsom recently signed on. What laws stand out to you?
I think one of the most important things when we think about our mothers, our sisters, our daughters is the menstruation products for women in public high schools. These things cost so much money. Pharmaceutical companies make so much money. And when you think of people that grow up in areas that they don't have a lot of money and there's a lot of feelings of embarrassment or shame surrounding that, I think that's a very positive effect in the state of California. Second thing that I would say is the ethnic studies class. We think about how we're evolving as a society. We're learning about people's backgrounds. We're wanting to learn more about where we come from and also about social issues. It's not the exact same way about Columbus landing in America. So we want to have this requirement so that people have a broad-based comprehensive education to get a high school diploma. I think also for the pocketbook, one of the last things I'll say is the gas-powered leaf blowers. We think about the aspects of climate change, how much it affects us. These small motors, these engines have a tremendous impact on the environment. And this is a positive step forward, I think, for the entire state.
Yeah, California is all about going green, but let's talk more about those laws impacting the Black and brown communities. How will these that are going to take effect in January 1st really impact these communities?
Well, you think about how, in certain communities, in Black and brown communities who have a wealth gap, a wealth divide, for public schools, these aspects of having menstrual products for women available is good for those families. They don't have to spend that money. The other thing I would point to, another law that really I took notice to, was about a transparency from the Department of Motor Vehicles in settlements against highway patrol. They would have to publish, every city would have to publish settlements of police cases, whether it went for the police or against the police, within a transparent manner on their websites. This is a very, very important thing because we don't see transparency yet to the full extent that we would like in public law enforcement. And I think this thing goes a lot further to showing how judges react to certain cases of where police had to use force.
Yeah, Stefano, that is a huge one. Do you think, given the nation's climate right now, other states will follow this as well?
I think so, because California has been extremely progressive in that sense. I think that if there's enough activists and enough people that demand that, you will have assembly members, whether it be Albany in New York State and the state legislature, certain places in the Northeast, other states, Connecticut, New Jersey, that will start to get pressure from people that want to just see what the settlements are being given and how judges are reacting to certain cases. I think it also will change the narrative to sort of let people understand all the elements that went into the decision of law enforcement. And I think it's a very positive effect for the nation and hopefully something that will be seen in all the 50 states.
Yeah, no, let's talk about California being one of the first states to now require ethnic studies for students to graduate high school. Talk about this impact, especially how other states have been going against that.
Well, we think about how we educate our children in a very specific way. There's a big debate between critical race theory, parents standing up against, for it. I think this is a good place to start. That's the truth. We want to learn about. We need to learn about slavery to become extremely understanding, compassionate, be better members of our society, serve our communities better. We also want to be seen. It's very important to be seen. We want to hear about Hispanic Americans, Italian Americans, Irish Americans, the struggles that immigrants had to go through to make this country better. It just didn't come like this on its own. And that's a very important thing for young people who are coming into adulthood to learn about these things. And I would say it's a big benefit to raising our kids in a better, more comprehensive way.
Stefano, a lot of bills to discuss. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. We hope to see you back here on the Midday Jolt. And Charles R. Drew,